the same people that are making the vaccinations for swine flu. So, again, I tried to produce the film in such a way so that people who had no investment in this, Alex, whatsoever, knew nothing about the issue, could watch Generation RX and come to a logical conclusion themselves about whether or not they felt that this was a sane course to take. And I try to respect the intelligence of the people who are viewing the film. And
well, you've done a masterpiece. You've made a masterpiece in Generation RX. I just hope that people will start caring about their fellow humans and start going to the PTA club, start going to the school board meetings, start going to city council and say, stop pushing drugs in the schools. I was a straight A student. I wasn't straight A my first few years in high school, but we moved down here to Austin. I was straight A, made 100 in some of my classes that last year, to where I didn't need to be at school all day to finish my course load in high school. So for an hour a day, they said, you are a student aide. And I was a student aide there. And one day, I didn't feel good. One day, I was coming down with a cold, and I went into the nurse, and I said, I want to go home. And she said, you have to call your mommy. And here I am, 18 years old. So I sit there and give the phone to my mom. Okay, you can come home. Before I went out and got in my car and drove home. And then she goes, hey, if you're feeling bad, it's like drugs. It's like speed. It gets you high. It's fun. Well, first I said, well, no, I don't want any Ritalin. She said, here's the name of a psychologist. I was real calm at the time, handsome, good-looking, clean cut, wearing a polo shirt and slacks. People thought I was a cop at the school at Anderson because I didn't really hang out with anybody. I kept to myself. I just wanted to get out of high school. And I said, no, I don't need that. And she said, oh, it's fun. It's like drugs. You like speed, don't you? And I'm like, look at me, lady. I'm a jock. I've got like 2% body fat. I didn't say that, but I didn't want it. And then she kind of came on to me sexually. That was like a little added thing. But, I mean, the issue is that they're laughing. It's true. I mean, this country's screwed, man. She came at me, Mr. Miller, as a drug pusher.
Well, and, one of the stories in the film that seems to expose this kind of attitude is what happened to Matthew Milling Downing and her daughter. I mentioned about a half hour ago about Thomas Loughran, the head of the psychopharmacology division at FDA. Tom Loughran was, his daughters were friends with Matthew Milling Downing's two daughters. They lived in suburban D.C. They lived in the Maryland area. Of course, the FDA headquarters is right near there. Their kids had sleepovers. They socialized, all the rest of it. All of this time, Thomas Loughran knew the effects of Zoloft and these SSRIs and refused to interact with his good friends, who, by the way, he knew that the one daughter was just put on Zoloft, the drug that he had approved for children. And he never even said anything to the Downings. And the end result was, a few months later, that this beautiful, beautiful 11-year-old girl, Candace Downing, hanged herself in the garage of the Downing home 1 hour after watching Animal Planet on TV with her father, sitting on her father's lap.
Good God.
So how do we get to this place where you have such a disconnect, these people who are running the show in D.C., and who are living off of our tax dollars and are so inhumane that they won't share the most basic warning information with friends that they've been friends with for 9 or 10 or 11 years.
But that's the issue with these fake corporate types, is they're into how they don't care about anybody, and they'd watch you drown and not even help. They're in to the fact that they're soulless scum.
Well, I'll tell you, I think you're exactly right, because I've watched dozens and dozens and dozens of hours of FDA hearings, and I see nothing but cold and calculation coming from all of the FDA officials. They could give a damn about the stories of real people who died on these meds.
Well, that's because the overarching geopolitical system is run by eugenicists, so the more of us they kill, the better. In the state hearings, they said that. They said, these people are subhuman. They have bad gene pools. We're getting rid of them.
If you owe the IRS, you can't make the problem go away without professional help. But with the help of Dan Pilla, you can get your problem solved.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla, and I've been solving tax debt problems for 30 years, and I can help you too. We can stabilize IRS collection action and get your tax debt reduced, sometimes completely eliminated. And if you received a 1099 from a bank because of mortgage or other debt forgiveness, the vast majority of the time, I can show you how to completely erase it so you pay no taxes on what the IRS will consider to be taxable income. Call us for a free consultation to discuss the many possibilities. Call 1-800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NOTAX. Or go to my website at taxhelponline.com.
Dan Pilla has been protecting taxpayers from the IRS for 3 decades, and he can help you. Call us today, 800-346-6829. That's 800-34-NO-TAX.
It is a big idea, a new world order.
In the near future, Earth is dominated by a powerful world government.
It's known as the Bilderberg Group. Could their objective be world domination?
For thousands of years, their dark order grew. Now, as they hail the birth of the New World Order, their great dream of exterminating 80% of humanity is at hand. For the first time in history, the elite's plan for world government is blown wide open. You will learn the secret that drives the entire New World Order agenda.
Bilderberg is making great progress toward a world government.
Most people have no idea. They're not after money. They have all the money they need. They're after power. That's their aphrodisiac.
Order Endgame on DVD at prisonplanet.com or Infowars.com, or watch it online right now at prisonplanet.tv. Endgame, blueprint for global enslavement. You have been warned.
You don't have to be in the military to enjoy military surplus savings. Right now at mainmilitary.com, you'll find savings on the top must-have military supplies. M10 gas masks for $12 or 3 for $30. Gas mask hoods $4 or 3 for $10. Mask filters $6 or 3 for $15. Save big on British chemical suits, only $12. Israeli gas masks $20. Trigger finger gloves $5 a pair or $36 a dozen. Snowshoe binding for $8 or $48 a dozen, and so much more. Even hard-to-find surplus items, all at surplus prices. Preparing the whole family has never been so affordable at mainmilitary.com. Mainmilitary.com, one of the last surviving true surplus stores in the country. Shop now at MAINE military.com or call 877-608-0179. That's 877-608-0179 today.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
When good people stop caring and stop being involved in society, bad things happen. And they've got around 20% of our kids on drugs today. They want to put 50% on. Generation RX, a film by Kevin P. Miller. I'm going to have him back up the next month or two, maybe even play some clips here at prisonplanet.tv. But this is just very well done. It'll warn people when the school's pushing the drugs on their kids that it is proven to cause suicide. They even have to put that on the drugs now, thanks to people like Mr. Miller's actions. Get the film at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. That's 888-253-3139. You can also write to me, Alex Jones, at 3001 South Lamar, Suite 100, Austin, Texas, 78704 to get Generation RX, a film by Kevin P. Miller. Kevin, we got about 4 minutes left here at the end. Tell folks more about the film because, I mean, it's so multifaceted. It gets into so many areas. It shows the motivation, the lies, what the drugs do, the horror stories. It's just amazing. Tell folks more about Generation RX and how they can use it to stop this mass murder.
Well, I appreciate the latter part of what you just said because, you know, what I've said often in my speeches around the country is that, you know, I made the film so that parents in particular and teachers and even sheriffs could be armed with the information they need, and especially parents, because you know how intimidated most parents are with, either by a school administrator or certainly a doctor, were intimidated by the lab coat and their air of authority. And yet, it's incredible because since the film has been out, I was speaking in Nebraska a couple of weeks ago, and a woman came up to me and she said, I actually did what you suggested. I used the information as a weapon. And I said, really, with whom? She said, with my child's pediatrician. And evidently the pediatrician was just sort of dumbstruck, had no response for the vast majority of the statistics or things that she cited from the film. So, I took great care to make sure that there was integrity in the information, Alex. And you know how important that is, because if there isn't integrity in the information, it makes it too easy for everybody else to shoot down.